Hello and welcome back to Umineko.
Welcome back.
Um, it's been a while, hasn't it? For us, at least.
Mhm. Yeah, because last time we wanted to read, I I threw up.
Yeah, forgot about
Yeah,
that. And also, I know I brought this up last time, but I'm always jump scared by the nipples. I'm always jump scared by them. Why are they there?
I didn't even realize they were there before you pointed them out. So
But like, yeah, it's like they're very obviously there. All right, let's just go right back into it. Oh yeah, last time I recorded was last year.
wow.
My apologies, we lost sight of them. A single man thought to be an associate assisted in her escape. Judging by his possession of a stun gun and his driving skills, he's no amateur.
I see. Thank you. What a shame, Okanoki. Shall I take this as your answer?
Fuck, what was my?
Letting her get away was
Oh,
your
that was you. I couldn't remember.
letting her get away was your blunder. It has nothing to do with me.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember the voice I did for him
It's,
or
it,
her.
it's been a while. It's fine.
I'll come up with something. Yeah. I do wish to prepare some matcha for you as well in the near future. The next time you're in Kyoto, please stop by. I'm going.
It had some like fucking yakuza slang or some shit.
Oh, are you leaving already? I could offer you some chazuke first.
What does it get?
It is a dish. It's a dish made of fish and rice
Oh,
with uh with boiling tea on top.
oh, that sounds like it might be good. I don't know. I'm a very
It
picky
sounds
eater.
really good. I've never tried it, but I'd like to.
I'll
I should make it sometime.
I'll profile my Japanese friend and see if she can make it.
It's pretty easy to make if you have the ingredients, which I'm assuming you don't.
I mean, there's an Asian market not too far from here.
Yeah. Anyways, it's cackling time.
Go ahead, go on. Santa? With her back still facing Okanogi, she laughs softly, but with an increasingly shrill and hateful tone, using that as a substitute for a sharp parting remark. Just as she stopped laughing, her features suddenly changed to look like a demon's. But because her back was facing him, Okanoki couldn't see that expression. Okanoki watched her go, hating to see her leave but loving to watch her walk away, laughing coolly. His secretary whispered over his shoulder, "Are you sure about this? Milady Angie is our company's primary stockholder. If the Sumadera family becomes her guardian..."
I get it, but you know we're the world famous Sushiromias. We can't let them take us lightly. Still, it looks like that guy managed it pretty well. All that's left is to let Anju-chan do as she pleases. I'm counting on you, Amakusa.
Sumi-sama. Oh, the escaping car was a rental. The license plate they displayed was a fake, but clearly dealing with a pro. They'll probably abandon the car. Pursuit will be difficult. Should we have the police chase them?
Yes. Shall we have them search for our runaway daughter? They're getting paid with our taxes. The police must be of some use every once in a while.
Damn, they're paying taxes? Actually, no, of course they're paying taxes. That's how they fucking got what's his name? Shit. Fuck, what's his name? Famous mafia guy. Al Capone!
Hmm.
Yeah, they got him because he didn't pay his taxes.
Hmm. When I left the mansion, I boldly told Mother to leave it to me, didn't I? You intend to embarrass me further. It looks like it might be better for me to serve some matcha for everyone at once, doesn't it?
Okay, it is like a Yakuza slang thing. Oh my fucking god!
The tea room is cramped, so you'll have to wait in line.
No! We will search with everything we have.
She really is a cute kid, just like Nei-san. Especially that way she freewheels and does as she pleases. Now I can see it. Anything but Nei-san. I'm truly looking forward to it. If only I can invite Nei-san's daughter to my tea room, right?
Hey, clearly she has some sort of complex.
Go on.
I don't know, she's just being very weird about the fact that Angie reminds her of her sister.
Yeah.
I don't know, what else are you expecting
Go
from me?
on. No, I'm expecting you to dig into it deeper.
I don't know, clearly she has some sort of inferiority complex over her sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what you. I'll get you my 3-page fucking dissertation on Kasumi's character in a bit, okay? Give me a second. The Sumadera family sure moved quickly. Did Okanoki-san sell me out? Fuck, what did I do? What was his voice?
I don't remember.
Here, give me a second. You're joking. He's my client. He told you out he wouldn't have hired me, right? I guess that's true. Ah, so that's why he got off the elevator to the 3rd floor. Him having a car waiting in the underground parking lot was too convenient. I figured Okanogi-san sold me out. Though I guess by now it's impossible to prove whether there was an ambush set up in the parking lot or not. I see. The poor president guy. Looks like you don't trust him a bit,
Right.
Huh?
That's right, his face.
He does look fucking wild.
That's so funny.
That car in the basement was mine. Huh? He's talking about you, Hamakuta? Freaked when the elevator came and was empty. I wonder what would have happened by now if I hadn't been listening in on the radio. What's going on? If I'd obediently believed Okanogi-san and gone to the parking lot, there would have been no need for me to do that jump off the 3rd floor? Pretty much, yeah. Well, it turned out okay in the end. Damn it, my trust issues. What the hell? Oh my god, she is actually... If I hadn't suspected President Okanogi, I could have easily escaped without getting caught in a tough spot. President Okanogi might have sold me out. No, the paranoia told me that it was better to assume that he sold me out. I supposed and concluded that he sold me out. Because of my inability to believe him, regardless of his truth. My truth became he sold me out. I thought back on President Okanogi's words. Can you really call truth with a certainty truth? Truth can change completely depending on whether you have love or not. In the end, perhaps truth itself doesn't exist. There are as many interpreted truths as there are people who speak of the truth. I can't accept something that fluid as truth. Where does the truth that I really want to find exist? And is it something I'll be able to see with my eyes? Even if someone sticks the truth right there in front of me and says it's the truth, I might not be able to see it. Without love, it cannot be seen, huh? What the fuck are you talking about?
This fragment... This fragment of yours is very lively. It doesn't bore me.
You told me something. You commanded me to search for the truth of 12 years ago. But there's something I'm not getting.
What's that?
What is truth? There are as many truths as there are people. There are as many interpretations as there are people. And it can be twisted by opinions and changed indefinitely. Is truth really unfixed and vague?
That's right. Truth is unfixed. It can be like a particle or like a wave, and it can hold conflicting forms at the same time. You're free to believe that the cat in the box is alive or dead.
Fuck yeah, my boy Schrodinger!
But the truth is very delicate. It can change its appearance just by being observed.
You're talking about stuff like Schrodinger's cat box? Okay, his cat box, that works too, I guess. Nonsense. If you open the box, you learn the truth. Discussion about what happened before you open it is just an armchair theory.
That's right. And yet, in order to deny that abstract theory, you need to open the box. It is impossible to negate any idea about the contents of a box that cannot be opened.
If I'm correct, I don't know, this could be misinformation, for all I know. But, like, didn't Schrodinger create the concept of Schrodinger's cat? Because he fucking hated quantum physics or whatever? And he wanted to like, point out how fucking stupid it is? But he just accidentally made something that perfectly encapsulates the idea?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not. It's just funny to think of. It's funny to think about, and it's not harming anyone by believing in it, so I'm gonna personally believe it.
Mm-hmm. This is what truth is.
As long as truth isn't denied, it keeps its form.
That's right. As long as truth isn't observed, it keeps its form.
In other words, if it isn't exposed, any reckless statement can suffice as truth.
Yes. Even if they contradict each other, endless ideas can exist as truth at the same time without being negated.
So even something as screwed up as my family being captured by the Rokkenjima witch and shut up 12 years ago for all eternity can exist as truth as long as we don't know what happened 12 years ago.
This witch called Beatrice forcibly made room for endless imaginings in the Rokkenjima of 12 years ago, enveloping all of it inside a cat box. Everything inside the unopenable box is truth.
That's right. We don't know what happened on that island, so it becomes endless. That's assuming no one opens it up. I just have to rent it open. But that box was closed up 12 years ago, and I don't even know where it is. Even if I visit Rokkenjima, just what can I learn about what happened 12 years ago on that desolated island?
Who knows? I wonder what you could learn. This is something that can only be done by the person who's able to walk around freely in the world of 1998, 12 years in the future. The final witch, enter Beatrice. Beatrice's game board lasts 2 days, from October 4th, 1986 to the 5th. In other words, you're a piece who can move freely outside her game board. And even Beatrice cannot influence this future that lies outside the game board.
If you say it like that, it sounds like a pretty overpowered piece.
The future 12 years later in which you are placed certainly is distant. However, the further a piece is placed in the future, the stronger power it holds. I told you, didn't I? The truth changes its appearance when it is observed.
Come to think of it, I heard something like that once. Even if one day, all of a sudden, a star in the constellation Centaurus were to explode, the light from that explosion would have to cross 4.4 light years, so it would take 4.5 years to reach Earth.
That's right. In other words, even if the sun in Centaurus has already died, people on Earth won't be able to perceive that fact for 4.5 years. Because no method of perception exists that is faster than the speed of light.
When we learn that the sun in Centaurus has exploded, we Earth people will paint over our history of 4.5 years with a new truth. We will revise history with a new fact, that had exploded 4.5 years ago. However, for the 4.5 year period until we learned that, despite the fact that it has already died, the mistaken truth that the Son of Centaurus still exists will be able to exist as a truth. The truth of the future wins against the truth of the past. That's right. By itself, the Rokkenjima accident gave rise to nothing but suspicion of a conspiracy involving Aunt Ava and the Uchiromiya family assets. But later on, it was dramatized and linked to the occult, and the conspiracy was painted over by the legend of the witch. Even though it was clambered over as a conspiracy at the time of the crime, later on, strange occult theories, which claimed that it was the work of the witch, ran rampant and began to paint over the truth of October 5th, 1986. The conspiracy theories will probably be forgotten over time, and only the more bizarre, impressive witch theory will continue to remain as superstition, eventually covering up the conspiracies. That's right. The false truth that exists before the light from an exploding star reaches Earth is almost like the conspiracy theory, which is a human theory. The wine bottle with a letter in it that drifted ashore several years later, that message bottle painted over that theory and made things return to the occult theory, which is a witch's theory. Oh, the wine bottle that's like Maria's diary was in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck does this have to do a message in a bottle? That's right. The witch didn't exist during 1986. The witch took control of Rokkenjima because she was observed several years later by us humans of the future, thanks to that message bottle.
A small revision is necessary. The witch could have existed even during 1986, as one of many endless possibilities that can exist.
Oh, endless possibilities? Like Sonic. I'm sorry.
Wow. Wow.
Look, Endless Possibilities is
No,
a good song.
I just think it's funny.
It's
it's a song. Okay, no, that's based. I get it.
Yeah, it's a Sonic song. Certainly. She'd disappear if she were observed, so she curls up inside the cat box. That's what makes the message bottle so nasty. The witch tried to get out of the box. She made it so that she'd be observed, weeding out possibilities that conflicted with the witch theory. In other words, to make it impossible to negate her, she negated all possibilities other than the witch theory. A witch! So in other words, the future satisfied the devil's proof with a frontal attack. That was part of the witch's plan from the beginning.
The message bottle is information observed in the future after 1986. It cannot be observed by Beatrice or Battler. It can only be observed by NJ Beatrice.
I really didn't want to investigate the message bottle. After all, reading that would be like listening to the witches say. Listening to the witches say, oh, okay. Okay. She's just saying it in a weird way. Alright. I thought the witch theory was just a crazy fantasy, so I thought of it as nothing more than a waste of time. But Okanoge-san told me, you can't see things in 3 dimensions with only one eye.
You mean that while looking at it from the viewpoint of denying wishes, you must also look at it from the viewpoint of accepting wishes. That's a correct way of thinking. The number of viewpoints is like a denominator. If you have one viewpoint, the mystery in the numerator doesn't decrease in the slightest. However, the more your number of viewpoints increases, the more the mystery begins to be divided.
I understand. There was a message bottle that washed up on a neighboring island several years after the crime. That passed into the hands of a dilettante. What the fuck?
Dilettante?
Dilettante. I made an appointment with him just in case. Flashback. I was able to hear Aunt Ava say from Okanoge-san. Next up is the witches say. Why don't I listen? The witches say. Umineko. Next time on Umineko. Okay. I hate it when it does the clock transition, but the clock doesn't fucking move. Alright, now we're back to 1986.
Few months left to live. It was last year when you said that, right, Dr. Nanjo?
I only spoke of what I could comprehensively determine from his physical condition at the time. As a result, this year too, it so happens. So even though it's doubtful whether that'll last until the end of the year, he's still totally focused on his occult research. And you still say he has only 3 months left, Doctor? Like I said, Kinzo-san.
Shouldn't you be happy that our respected father is still in high spirits? Out of a sense of parental respect, each one of you is so eager to greet father. I can see how upset you are that he's unwilling to meet with you.
Is their ass. Considering that everyone has started aiming for the inheritance while the sun is still in the sky, I can understand why father wouldn't want to see you. It's so good to see you, Natsui. It took me a bit, but oh my god, it's so good to see her.
So good to see her.
You got it wrong, Natsui-ne-san. We just, That isn't immortal, and he'll die someday. We aren't telling him to die, we're just saying that he'll die sooner or later. We're just talking together about how to prepare for that. That is precisely what is so disrespectful! Their ass, Natsui!
Stop it. You'll make your headache worse.
Krause told Natsui, who had risen from her chair in agitation, to sit down. God, I'm so Natsui core. I currently have a headache. Trying to smooth over the atmosphere, which had suddenly become filled with suspicion, Hideyoshi put on a forced smile and motioned for everyone to calm down. I'm just imagining all the kids are there too. Like, I'm just choosing to believe Battler, George, Jessica, and Maria are all still there too. Natsuki-san, misunderstand. People say you should always clean up after yourself, right? We're just talking about seeing him off. We're discussing this so we can see Father off neatly when he takes off on the journey he'll eventually gonna make.
That's just like you, Hideyoshi-san.
Kicking shit out of
Even
your
though you say
ass.
the same thing, you make it sound so intellectual. Yes, that's right. And like Uni-san.
Damn! Quit it. We aren't getting anywhere. So, like we were saying, Aniki, forget all this about the inheritance. I don't even care if Dad hits us. You should. Anyway, to make a long story short, we want to meet Dad directly and say hello, even if he says he doesn't want to. If he's locked up in his study, we don't care if we have to borrow a key from Genji-san. Right, Rosa? What the fuck? Leave me out of this!
Again?
Leave me out of this! Oh, well, it's not like we're forcing you. It's just, we haven't said hello to Father in such a long time. If his remaining life really is short, then there's a chance we might never be able to see him again. Today might be our final opportunity to exchange words with Father. Oh, if only you knew how accurate that was.
That's right, just like Rosa says. If he only has 3 months left, it wouldn't be odd for him to pass away any time now, right? Are you saying that despite him? We don't even have the right to talk with him one last time.
You know what? I'm slowly becoming more and more of a Natsuhi apologist. You know what? Yeah, she should get on their ass for talking about Kenzo like this. What the fuck?
Regardless of the circumstances, isn't that just a bit too much?
If grandfather would truly what you wish to do, I'm sure he'd happily allow you to meet with him. But Father has already heard about the disrespectful topic you hope to raise. No one would want to meet with you under those conditions. The reason you cannot meet with Father is because of your own doing and nothing else, is it not? Get their ass, Nazi!
Exactly. You shouldn't have to rack your brains to understand why Father doesn't wish to see your faces, right? Father has seen through all of your tight financial situations. What are you talking about? I don't have a clue what you're going on about, Nissan. Do you really think I don't know about the state you're in?
Delaware. I'm sorry, I'm not on my A game today.
What?
I just keep making stupid
What is she
jokes.
talking about? What is she talking about?
Like, did you think I didn't know about the state you're in? Delaware?
Exactly, what is she talking about?
Oh, fuck. Ava and the rest just realized that he had seen through to their current lack of funds and alternated between bluffing and returning to the point at hand and arguing back. They repeatedly pressed Kraus to let them meet with Pinto. The sweet smell of the black tea Rosa had gone out of her way to buy had been completely wasted. The only thing she was glad about now was that the children were here for this. Damn it! The fact that they had gone to play at the beach right after lunch had been their only salvation. Ava made as though to tackle Kraus. Oh shit! And Hideyoshi and Kirie cut in between them, trying to calm both sides. Then Kirie took a deep breath and spoke.
I'm sorry, Krasny-san. I know I'm an outsider, but I wonder if you'd let me say one thing. I have a proposition. What is it, Kirie-san?
What the fuck is she about to say?
First, and this includes my husband as well. For many years, we have belittled the efforts you've made by living with Father and taking care of him. Isn't that right?
That's... well... We've got it easy since we get to go outside, but Aniki's been babysitting Dad for decades now, and that must have been a lot of work. Oh, not bad, but what's your point, Kirie?
We must acknowledge that Krasny-san is Father's caretaker. Isn't that right? We've always feared Father, and I've pushed the task of caring for him onto Krasny-san. Everyone should acknowledge his efforts. Isn't that right, Evan Ne-san?
Fucking kill him!
And so what? Nissan is Father's caretaker. Don't decide things on your own, outsider.
Fucking prick! Hey now, calm down. Kirie-san, what are you talking about? Kirie, please continue.
We should be more grateful towards Krasny-san and Atsuhide-san.
You absolutely should!
We should thank them for always taking care of Father. It's our lack of gratitude that's to blame for these wasteful conflicts we keep having. Isn't that right, Krasny-san? I'm surprised. I did not think you, Kirie-san, would be able to understand our efforts, which even my true siblings have not stopped to consider.
It's a natural duty for the successor to the Ushnomiya family headship.
That's right. It's your responsibility as the successor to the headship, isn't it? It's because you took care of Father that we must acknowledge you as the successor. Hey! Why are you bringing this up all by yourself? You're just an outsider.
Fuck off, Ava. I still don't forgive you. Wait, Nikki. That's right. Just like Kirie says. Because you take care of Dad, you're the successor, Aniki. It's just like you said. Oh! Rosa noticed, and then Ava did. Oh, we're stroking his ego! Ava's barking demeanor toward Kirie for advancing discussion on her own disappeared in a flash, and she instead stared across at Natsuhi. Natsuhi couldn't understand that sudden change and was slightly flustered.
Manipulation lessons, yay. Krasny-san, if you'll accept just a few conditions, we won't ask you to let us meet Father again until he dies. Of course, We want a man to be present at his deathbed. We wouldn't even mind being absent at the funeral.
Damn! Damn!
Oh? Where are you going with this? But I may as well listen for now. Let's hear your terms. First, the term successor to the headship refers to the caretaker of the current head, Ushiromiya Kinzo.
I'd argue that Natsuhi's more of the caretaker, but whatever.
And then... Second, the duty of the caretaker is to look after Ushiromiya Kinzo for the rest of his life. To make things simple, the caretaker's job is to care for him until his final moments. You were prepared to do that from the beginning, Krasny-san, so that won't cause any problems. Naturally, I have no objections to either of those terms. I'm already carrying them out. Third, on the off chance that the caretaker is neglectful in his responsibilities of supervision, he shall be deprived of his rights as a caretaker.
What the fuck does neglectful in his responsibilities of superstition mean? With that sentence, all slack disappeared from Cross's face. Natsuhi alone was having trouble figuring out what it meant.
Oh, and just what are these responsibilities of supervision that the caretaker bears? It means supervision so that father can live the rest of his life in the best possible health. I'll be more detailed than that. In the case the father dies anything other than natural death, the caretaker will be deprived of his rights as caretaker, and his status as the successor to the headship will be lost.
Alright, Kirie is my suspect in this game. That's fucking insane! Like, yeah, you can be a successor.
Is that obvious?
Like, you can be a successor unless someone kills Kinzo.
Do you think it should be that obvious?
I don't know, but Jesus Christ, she's definitely just fucking top of my list already. That's fucking insane.
If that happens, the next highest in rank, Eva-ne-san, will be selected as the successor.
Nanjo's just here like, what the fuck? What did you say? Did you shamelessly speak such nonsense?
Oh, my, the caretaker certainly has a heavy responsibility. However, people can die in many ways. For example, senile old people sometimes die when food gets caught in their throats.
Yeah, like, why are you specifying that? Like, what the fuck?
Normally, this is called death by old age in its broadest sense. But with your argument, that becomes a death by accident, and bear the responsibility of supervision. This is unjustly disadvantageous to me.
Yeah, I hate to agree with Kraus, but I agree with Kraus. Like, what the fuck is that? That's insane.
I have no intention of forcing such an unfair argument on you. I'm referring to the kind of thing that the caretaker could have prevented beforehand by taking good care of and keeping his eyes on father. It may be the caretaker's job to carry food to father's mouth, but whether he swallows it or not is clearly outside the caretaker's responsibility. I would have absolutely no problems with the example you raised, Krasny-san. Huh. So what kind of case are you referring to that might cause the caretaker to be blamed for making a blunder? For example, if he disappeared. Oh? It seems that right now, father is in firm control of himself. But dementia can set in. You might wander around when you aren't looking and get into some kind of accident. Or he might get lost in the forest and go missing. Wouldn't this type of case clearly be the responsibility of the caretaker?
I don't think so. Kinzo's always had a tendency to just disappear. His mind is perfectly healthy. There's no need to bring up dementia.
One day, I suddenly saw Father go into the forest. I chased after him, but I couldn't find him. I called the police and searched, but after being unable to find him after 7 whole years, I had him declared legally dead. My point is that we won't accept it if you use a story like that to treat him as dead.
What?
When Father passes away, an autopsy will certainly be carried out, and we will confirm that he died of old age in the most general meaning, within the bounds of common sense. A death of any other cause will be held as the caretaker's responsibility. See, these are all things you have toiled away at all this time, Gross Nissan. These aren't strange conditions or anything of the sort, right?
No, I think it is. Like, you've immediately made it advantageous for someone to kill Kinzo. Like, you've immediately given people reason to do that. What the fuck? You're mocking us, disgracefully so. I find it hard to imagine why my husband must be coerced into a rule that disgraces him in this way. I agree, this is a fucking insane rule.
Actually, I've been suspecting it since last year. No, everyone here probably suspects it as well. Even Nissan Hideyoshi Nissan. Rudolph-san and Rosa-san too. Everyone has suspected it the whole time.
Oh my fucking god.
But it was so frightening to imagine that no one has actually said it.
Are they? Is this about to go where I think it's gonna go?
I see, so this is what you're trying to say.
Yep.
That Father is already dead, and that I've been hiding it.
That's insane! That's right. That's one of the theories I thought of as a key to solve the last mystery in the previous game. You mean the very last bit? The mystery of who killed Dr. Nanjo? That's right. The witch definitely said a lot in red. She mentioned the names of all 18 people and announced whether they were alive or dead, and that she claimed that there were no humans besides them. But with this theory, I can weave my way through that gap. I see. So this is one of the answers that doesn't cause those two to contradict. Makes sense. See what I'm saying? You catch on pretty quickly. It's nice that I don't have to explain. It's almost like we're related or something. No 19th person exists on this island. And yet this trick lets us mix in an unknown new character. The music just suddenly cut out. What the fuck? All audio just cut out. Yeah, why did the audio cut out? Okay, there we go, it's back. Okay, so for some reason, the music just randomly cut out here. It's meant to do that. In other words, the names of all 18 people don't necessarily correspond to the 18 people on the island. That's it. The witch mentioned the names of 18 people one after another and announced whether they were alive or dead. And on top of that, she announced that there were no humans other than the 18. There was a single illusion in there. It wasn't guaranteed that the 18 names of people equaled the 18 people on the island. When she named off all 18 people and announced who was alive and who was dead, she had the name of Culprit X and instead mixed in someone who wasn't on this island. By doing that, even though the culprit was on the island, she was able to leave him out of the list of living or dead people. The person who was mixed in wasn't actually on the island. We didn't count towards the total number of people on the island. By this, even though the culprit counted towards a total of 18 people on the island, it was possible for his name to not be listed. The two statements in red are completely independent. This theory creates no contradictions. If someone's name was used to hide the existence of the culprit, that name must satisfy several conditions. First of all, even though this person isn't on the island, they've got to be someone we think is on the island. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to trick us. And it's best if this person happens to be dead. No alibi is more perfect than death. After all, at that point, the mystery is based on the fact that the crime was impossible for all 18 people. Is it something like that? Yeah, that's it. And the person was... grandfather. Right now, there's only one thing Kirei-san can be about to say. We thought grandfather was locked up in his study, saying that he didn't want to meet anyone. But there's a possibility that he's actually dead already, and there's a very convincing impressionist yelling at whoever tries to come in. And that Uncle Kraus is lying when he claims that grandfather's alive. That's right. Grandfather was closed up in his room the whole time, and no one saw his face. Maybe he was already dead, and Uncle Kraus and the others was conspiring together, trying to trick everyone. If Kinzo dies, the distribution of the inheritance occurs. However, if Kinzo doesn't die... No. If he dies, but it isn't announced, the distribution of the inheritance will take place. What the fuck? I don't think I've seen Battler make that face before. In other words, Uncle Kraus could have all of Grandfather's wealth to himself. That's right, he's got more than enough motive. Maybe a 19th person X really doesn't exist on this island. But a person X existed. And that person was the 18th person. In other words, there were originally 17 people on this island, not 18. Then an unknown person X snuck in and committed the crime. How's that, Banto? Come on, I just solved the biggest mystery from last time! Whoa, whoa, whoa! As Battler claimed that forcefully, the crisp sound of clapping came out of nowhere, and their surroundings turned bright, becoming the usual witch's tea room.
Bravo, bravo. I wish I could deny that someone as incompetent as you has finally gotten a feel for it, but somehow or another you've managed to come up with a single answer. Even a lump of concrete can stop thinking. So you have now finally evolved into a being with intelligence. You might say you've finally taken a step forward from the crying creature you were before, just licking my shoes and grinding your teeth.
And he turns to Battler. Did you really lick her shoes? I can't believe that stupid wordplay threw me for so many loops last time. My lameness pisses me off. Alright, Beto, repeat it! You can announce that the 80 people on the island, included grandfather, just try and do it! Yeah, you can't, because he was already dead. This is the end of your deception. Fuck you.
He's so cute. Well now, what have we here? Shall I slice that in two with the red truth? No, it might also be good to hold back for now and let you get all excited. If I'm gonna push you off a cliff anyway, it would be more interesting to lure you to a higher place first.
Lambda's just in the corner, fuming, glaring at Beatrice. As Beato sneered obnoxiously, she looked like she was searching for an expression that would tick me off even more. As though she was saying that the answer I'd reached was impossibly ridiculous. Compared to me, annoyed as I was with the witch's attitude, Gretel had a blank and composed expression on her face. Almost as though she expected the witch to act that way. I see. Just like how Battler has learned and grown, so has the witch. What's wrong, Beto? You act so buff. I asked if you can repeat it. Answer! Stop it, Battler. The witch won't answer so easily. She won't do it until she thinks it'll benefit her. What? What do you mean? She's been toyed with by this red truth in the games up until now, so the witch has used it many times. But now the situation is different. You're trying to draw the red truth out of her and are instead using it as your weapon. In this situation, there's no way the witch will keep firing off the red without reason. Right?
Riddle or whoever you are. Seems your mind's quite sharp, unlike battlers. What a fearsome enemy I will contend. That is correct. When Battler hopes I'll use the red truth, do I have any responsibility to do so? No. Don't even have a crumb from that croissant you ate this morning's worth of responsibility to please you.
Bastard!
Yes, that's the phase. I started playing with the red truth just because I wanted to see that face. I have no reason to play around if you won't give me a chance to see you look like that.
And she's just looking at the both of them like, oh my god, the tension in here is fucking palpable. You just don't like losing, right? Just saying whatever you can to trick me because you can't answer my demand won't work.
Don't be so full of yourself. An answer that could be cut to pieces without any effort. But I won't go out of my way to speak in that. I won't say because that's what you're asking me to do. Do you know why?
You just said it. You want to poach him off at the sweetest spot. This ill-natured witch is saying she won't use the red anymore because that's what you want. In other words, she won't go along with this game of telling her to repeat things anymore.
Exactly.
I was kind of hoping that Beatrice would be like, oh, I wanted to explain it.
I'm like that, but everything goes really goes quickly with this girl. There's no need for explanations. I will say what I please with the red truth, at the time that I desire.
That's it. Basically, it's the witch's right to use the red truth as she pleases. She doesn't have to use it at whatever time the human side desires. But even that depends on the situation. The situation? What do you mean? Butler is so much like Phoenix Wright, where he's both somehow equally incredibly competent and also incredibly incompetent.
That might be a little bit on purpose. Didn't know that.
Wait, wait, what? Really?
Maybe a little bit.
The witch has no responsibility to respond when you tell her to repeat something. But it does become a responsibility if and only if your claim can destroy the witch theory. After all, in this trial court without a judge, that which is not refuted becomes the truth. Just like how the witch theory made by the witch will instantly become truth if you collapse and stop thinking. Then, since she doesn't have a counter-argument for my guess, that means it's right? It's right that the culprit is the mysterious ex and grandfather's already dead? At least until the witch argues back. Truth always loses to new truths farther in the future. The tricky part is that even the timing of the counter-argument is up to the witch. In other words, maybe your reasoning just now was correct. Or maybe the witch is refraining from arguing back even though you're wrong. Or the witch may be ignoring it because it doesn't shake the basis of the witch theory in the first place. But either way, we can't tell the difference at the current time. More or less it.
Damn you, Lady Birdcastle, for throwing me in such a troublesome piece. Thanks to that, I'm losing all my lines.
Yeah, I'm getting more chances to talk. The witch has learned that she can respond to your demands to repeat phrases at a later time. Maybe you could even call it a delayed move. She's messing with me. So even if I announce some mistaken reasoning, there's a possibility that Beto will intentionally let me flounder about without denying that guess. And at the very end, when I propose an even more massive line of reasoning, she can cut it off at the base and spin everything around. A single piece of reasoning becomes a bridge to the next piece. By demanding that she repeat lines, I've been able to strengthen my position and advance bit by bit. But since that bastard Beto learned this strange delay tactic, I can no longer confirm or deny my reasoning. This is like finally finding a staff that'll let me search around in the darkness, only to lose it right away. It's stuck now, right?
Hey, Battler, you can make it a spare face like that. I won't be able to stop drooling, you see.
Oh my fucking god!
From the beginning, that stuff was nothing more than something I gave you because you were so worthless.
Okay, now did Beatrice read his thoughts? Or is it like Death Note, where L and Light are both having internal monologues that sound fucking insane, but it turns out they're thinking the exact same thing? Or I guess in this case it'd be more like Terahashi from Psychic K always knowing what weird fantasy people are concocting up about her.
I think maybe she's just making up a fantasy, projecting it into his head. All this means is that you can finally challenge me without a handicap, right?
But that alone doesn't change the fact that demanding that you repeat things is one of Balor's way to fight back. As I already said, as long as it's something fatal that'll destroy the witch theory, the witch is obligated to argue back and therefore to speak with the red truth. Well, the timing of that counter-argument is up to the witch, and must be performed eventually. Isn't that right?
That may be so. If I cannot deny the tricks done by humans theory Battler lays out by the time the game ends, Battler will use it as a reason to deny me, and it will be possible for him to proclaim his victory.
Wait, I just realized something. Battler was like, oh my god, who could this be? She has the Usunomiya family crest.
Yeah, but he can't be entirely sure. Could be anyone. It could be someone from a different fragment. Could be, could be him if you transition. For all he knows.
Why the fuck do you look like me? Oh, fuck. So should we view this as a restriction on the witch's side? But the trick theory laid out by the human side, in other words, what he tells you to repeat must be counted during the game, during the episode. Okay, quick little fourth wall break.
That is so. Battler's goal is to show that he can explain the entire pleasant game I have laid out on this island with humans and deny me. If Battler succeeds in that, at that time, he will become the victor of this game.
Let me confirm the rules. We view the time the game ends as referring to 2400 on October 5th, 1986, going by the time of the Rokkenjima in the game.
I have no problems with that.
At the time the game ends, the human side must state a theory using tricks for all the mysteries. And if the witch side cannot argue back, the human side can proclaim its victory. Does that work?
Let us be more specific. When the game ends, the witch side will be given a chance to argue back.
Let's decide on the amount of time. 1 minute. If you cannot carry out your counter-argument within 1 minute, a victory will be proclaimed.
Then allow me to impose the same rule on you. At the time the game ends, the human side will be granted 1 minute to counter the mysteries it has been given. If even a single mystery has not been countered within that time, it becomes the witch's victory and that game is over. It would be such a killjoy to have the game stop for lengthy consideration, right?
I don't know, that's what we've been doing. You asshole. Moving things along without me. But I more or less get what's going on. Even if the lines that demand that your repeat aren't countered instantly, they've got to be countered eventually. Yes, that's right. And that must happen before... must be happened before 1 minute past midnight on October 6th. But be careful. She only has to cut up one of the things you tell her to repeat. You can't proclaim your victory unless you solve all the puzzles.
Just as I can use the red, from now on I will allow you to use the blue, battler.
Oh, I was wondering when this was gonna come up.
When explaining my magical murders with human tricks, you may state your claims in blue. I am responsible for countering your blue with the red by the end of the game.
Blue. Still talking blue when I tell you to repeat things?
Not quite. When you told me to repeat lines, you were able to do it for any trivial thing. But the blue is a little more restrictive. Unless it by itself denies witches, it will not be valid.
Starting to get confusing, but it's more or less something like this. For example, let's take one of the riddles in the past where I asked her to repeat something. The actual number of master keys is 5. That had been to confirm that there really were 5 master keys when she claimed that there were no more than 5. But since that by itself wouldn't deny witches, I can't say it in blue. So in order to speak in blue, I need to say something like this. The actual number of master keys was greater than 5. The culprits entered or exited the room with that extra key. Only then would the witch who claimed that this was a closed-room murder made with magic be responsible for making a counter-argument. In other words, I can't demand that she repeat something that merely confirms the premises of my reasoning. That'll probably be a significant disadvantage for me. Crap. Enough to make the red Beato used to toy with me until now look extremely merciful. Damn it. So even if I create a theory for a particular closed room and speak it in blue, Beato denies it at the very, very end. I won't even have enough time to create my next theory? This rule's awful. Horribly bad for me. Are you gonna surrender before the fight even begins again? Calm down. No one said you could only use the blue once for each mystery. Do you know what that means? No. What does it mean? In the pitiful way you've been fighting up until now, you've made a single theory, glanced at the witch's complexion, and if that one didn't work, you then start making another theory. You won't corner a witch like that. Then how should I fight? You don't mean... Yeah, that's right. You don't attack her riddles with a point. You assault them with a wall. Her ass. You said so yourself in an earlier game, that the force of your reasoning should be like that. Assault with a wall. That's right, I said so myself earlier. Guessing and trying to expose a mystery is like trying to shoot a distant target with an arrow. Until now, I've been shooting off arrow after arrow, asking the witch if I'd scored a hit, and then preparing my bow again once I'm told that I've missed. There's no way I hit at that rate. Bullets might be a better example than arrows. If you take one shot after another at a distant target with a handgun, you probably won't hit it easily. So how can you hit it? The handgun doesn't work. Use a shotgun. Instead of a single bullet, beat her down with shot comprised of countless projectiles at once. Shot scatters, but impacts a wider area. That makes it optimal for shooting small, fast targets like birds. That's right. There's no rule saying that I have to guess like a pistol, shooting one shot off at a time. Making a single theory and just hoping that it hits is no better than stopping your own thinking. Every time he gets hit with a theory, he just responds in blue, a human did it.
You would.
What can Beatrice say? Nuh-uh.
Look what I sent you, by the way.
Oh, what did you send me? Okay, yeah, maybe. God, editing me, put that up. Jesus. Blue, huh? I get it. If your red truth is a razor sharp katana, then it looks like my blue is a shotgun. And dude, honestly, I'm putting my money on shotgun. No, a machine gun whose firepower turned the witch into a honeycomb.
I see, so it's an awkward gun that fires many shots. That sort of crude analogy is just like you.
How the fuck is that a crude analogy? It's exactly what this is like. The climax of a detective novel is always the same. The famous detective gathers all the suspects at once and displays a single trail of logic that works splendidly. Almost like William Tell spectacularly shooting through an apple with a single arrow. That's why I mistakenly took that to be a virtue. Probably would be splendid if I could shoot through the truth with a single guess, but that isn't realistic. Look at real wars. Do they really have everyone pull long guns out of the trench, aim really well, and take shots at each other one at a time? They don't, right? They fire rapidly, they fire all over the place, they pin down the enemy with a barrage. Reasoning is the same way. Because of that weird virtue, I've been stuck thinking it's better to take one line of reasoning at a time. We humans can fire off countless guesses and possibilities. The bullet is the power of imagination. Suspension of thought is a clogged barrel. The pathetic way I've been reasoning up until now is like a pea shooter. I've been so lame. Weakly firing off shots, getting them denied and read, and then taking the next bullet and reloading. My blue truth, which claims that humans and tricks are what's real, will overpower its target. The illusion told by the witch, with its firepower and the force of what I can imagine. This is my Shiromiya battler's fighting style. Thanks to you, I figured out my true fighting style. Thanks, Gretel. You're welcome. Makes me think of how pathetic I was before. And it's like Beato said, if I hadn't kept until now. I'll acknowledge that. New rule understood. I have my own way of fighting. I'll show you it!
That willpower is good, I like it. Then try using it right away, this blue truth of yours.
Yeah, I'll use it. This blue truth, I'll break apart your witch theory, which states that only a witch culprit was possible because everyone had alibis. This is my truth! Shinya Kinzo is already dead! I was expecting a darker blue. Therefore, the true number of people on the island is 17.
It contrasts better.
It does contrast better. Adding an unknown person X to that, it becomes 18 people. Supposing that this person X exists, the crimes will be possible even if all 17 people have alibis.
In short, if you keep preventing us from meeting with Father, we will have to accept the following theory. Simply put, Father is already dead. But you're hiding that because you don't want the inheritance to be distributed.
That's such an insane thing to say, right? I'm not the only one thinking that's a fucking insane thing, right? Like, what the fuck?
Stating it plainly like that is insane, but it's not. It's stating it plainly like that is unthinkable in the setting, but
Like, yes, the Ushiромiyas, they're fucking insane, every single one of them. But like, oh my god.
ridiculous.
Like, yeah, what else are you supposed to say to that? It's correct, this is worse than ridiculous. I've never heard such an insult. You think we're weekend at Bernie's Kinzo? Wait, when did Weekend at Bernie's come out? Shit, 1989. There's no way they would have seen it.
It'd even be possible for us to check by force whether he's alive or dead. We'll leave there to witness it. Isn't that right, Eva-ne-san?
Can you imagine being a police officer? Alright, I know this is already hard to imagine. That's off the bat. But can you imagine being a police officer and this rich family calls you up and are like, we think our oldest brother is hiding the fact that our father is dead. And you're like, all right, I guess we can count this as a wellness check or whatever. Maybe you even get a warrant. And you break in the door expecting to see like maybe it's even like a psycho thing where like you just see a dead old man in his room, and you just see a very pissed off old gentleman yelling at you, throwing absinthe. Like, I would quit. I would fucking quit. I'd be so pissed off at these people.
Yes. That's right, Nice. That's right, Nissan.
Even Ava's like, this is fucking insane.
There are all sorts of ways we could set you up. We could easily arrange for a situation where you'd have to hold a meeting with Father under the supervision of a third party. Still, I think that would bring a lot of shame to the Ushiromiya family. That's why I'm making this proposal. Here we have the responsibilities and duties of the caretaker. And a penalty in the worst case scenario. If you consent to those terms, we'll be able to refrain from doing something like dragging Father outside.
Unironically, Kraus just say, no. No. I don't agree to those terms. Go on. Drag Kenzo outside. Tell him that because you think I killed him or whatever, you dragged him out of his study. They need to call Kraus, call their fucking bluff. Like like there's no way this would bring shame on the Ushiromiya family as a whole. It'd bring shame on these 3 fucking insane siblings. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's right, Hanky. You just say it yourself. You're carrying out your natural duties as Dad's caretaker. Kire's condition shouldn't be anything to worry about, right? Why this overreaction? Because it's fucking insane! Are you really that worried about having the position of successor dragged out from under you if Dad dies something other than a natural death?
Or else what? Do you have some reason to think Father might die something other than natural death?
Is this just what happens when you grow up rich? You just become fucking insane? Like, yeah, I don't blame you for being pissed off, Kraus.
How could I? I see. Now I too understand how Father feels. How pitiful his later years have been for him, unable even to die as he pleases. Yes, his later years truly have been pitiful. And the thought that these later years are already something of the past is exactly what we're suspecting.
It's not Kraus's fault that y'all are paranoid and insane.
You could completely clear the suspicion away just by letting us meet with Father.
The problem isn't that Kraus isn't letting them meet with Kenzo. The problem is Kenzo doesn't want to fucking deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
The only time outside of like the games where like he's seen interacting with like Beatrice or something, the only time we have seen Kenzo be nice is to Natsuhi. Like, that's the only time. Like, oh my... Dude, if I was Kenzo, I'd fucking hate my family too! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I've been too hard on him!
So, even after being humiliated by us this much, you still won't allow us to meet with him, Krosny-san?
Go ahead and try! He's gonna say no!
Father is probably already dead. The corpse may have been disposed of in absolute secrecy. And after taking all of the wealth for yourself as father's agent, you'll make it seem that he disappeared until 7 years pass, making father a corpseless member of the deceased.
Kirie, I thought you were supposed to be good at manipulation.
I'm sorry, but please don't take it badly, okay?
How else is he supposed to take it? Dude, you think so lowly of him, you think this absolutely insane tactic would manipulate him.
I'm just playing detective here.
Dude, can one be? You have no right to stay in this mansion! Leave immediately! I won't permit you to cross the threshold of this house again!
It worked last year, but you've used up your luck if you thought it worked this year too.
Kirie, I gotta admit, after admitting that you kind of hate Battler, and now you're doing fucking whatever this is, you're going down on my ranking. Like, this is fucking insane. I know I keep saying that, but oh my god.
Father's in a bad mood, so he can't meet with us. That was plenty suspicious last year, and yet you're doing it again?
Oh my fucking god.
If you really wanted to fake being father's agent and grab up all his assets, you should have done it a little more speedily. Making him disappear without waiting for today's family conference. You really are naive, Kurosoni-sama.
I need Kraus to just be like, alright, go talk to him. Go on, try and get in there. Get key from Genji and enter his fucking oh fuck.
But
And
he won't do it.
Huh?
But he won't do it.
Yeah, Genji definitely wouldn't do it. Like, go on, fucking steal the key, because Genji's a real one. He's like, dude, he's like, you are going to get verbally and probably physically abused, assaulted, if you enter his fucking study. I'm not even entertaining the idea that Kinzo's actually dead. Because we've already been confirmed that Beatrice can't affect anything outside of the game board. So that kind of implies that's like everything that happens in the past is the same no matter like what version of events we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
That's my interpretation, at least for now. Because it looks like if Kinzo's actually dead, then all of this is moot or whatever. But like, if Kinzo was alive, oh my god. All right, okay, this was Kraus.
I have no idea what you are. However, if it's a fact that father's in a bad mood, and you're preventing us from meeting him as part of your responsibilities as his caretaker, then it's a very wonderful thing you're doing.
Fuck off.
In that case, if you just accept our conditions, everything will be settled here and now.
Dude, I wouldn't accept the conditions. I don't care. Go ahead. Get the cops involved or whatever. You're gonna get a very pissed off Kinzo at you, and you're all afraid of him. Like,
If he's alive.
he's alive, which I'm assuming.
After all, you care so greatly for Father Kurosni-san. There's no way Father will die in a manner that leads to trouble during the autopsy. After all, Father hates hospitals, so he'll pass away in his study, right? An autopsy will certainly be carried out no matter what happens. The only way to kill him without an autopsy would be for him to disappear. Enough, Kirie-san. I think you've bullied me-san enough.
can't, I can't believe, I feel bad for being so hard on Kraus. Oh my god. Eva rebuked Kirie in a sickeningly kind voice. Considering the situation, that was impossible. Which is why it was sickening.
I'm sure Nissan has his own difficulties to worry about, as well as his pride. True, Nissan might consider that one of his natural duties. But if you force him to put it on paper and assign penalties, I could hardly blame him for getting upset. Do you agree, Rosa?
Like, that's the thing. Saying no, being like, saying yes to these conditions, it's like saying, yeah, I did actually kill Kinzo. You're right, I did kill him. Shit, man. You got me. Like, there's no reason to say yes unless you did actually kill Kinzo. And I don't know if they would do that in this run. I don't know if they changed that. Because usually, like, the setup has been fairly the same in each of these episodes. Yes, that's right.
The setup isn't gonna continue to be the same in every episode.
I know, but, like, still. She might have made light of Krasny-san's pride as the eldest son a little too much. I'd feel bad for him if we were to force him to sign a statement regarding the duties of the caretaker as Kirie-san has laid them out. That's right. You're doing a good job, Aniki. Taking that into account, we might consider avoiding all that about signing strange papers and worst-case penalties. And leave everything to you. Like, also, if Kinzo's dead, and Kraus killed him, it's fucking insane that the family is like, yeah, alright, whatever, we'll let you do that.
Kinzo could be dead without Kraus having killed him.
That is true. That is true. Like, that'd be so funny if, like, if Kraus is like, fucking no, why the fuck would I do that? And they go up, and Kinzo's dead via stab wound or something. And they're just like, fuck!
Freshly dead.
Freshly dead.
You people.
Not just Ava, but Rudolph and Rosa as well, with unnerving smiles on their faces as though they planned this beforehand and began closing in on Kraus. They now understood perfectly how Kirie had cornered Kraus, and exactly where she was preparing to compromise.
We were talking about a signed statement regarding the responsibilities of the caretaker. But even without signing such a thing, we can make it so that we'll never demand a meeting with Father again. If you can prove your fitness as Father's caretaker with a form of guarantee other than a signed statement, that is. Or are you telling me to pay security money? Hilarious.
Man, I do not blame Kinzo for only being nice to Natsuhi. I don't blame him.
The security money will be paid to Eva-san, Rudolph-san, and Rosa-san. 3 billion yen each.
Hold on. Let's see how much that is in today American bucks. Yen inflation calculator. In 1986, 3 billion yen. 3,000 million billion. Right? Yeah, 3 billion. Calculate. Alright, 3 billion yen in 1986 is almost 4 billion yen in 2024. Then yen to USD. What's that? Alright, that's $89,227,605.96 in today American dollars. Oh, wait, I accidentally messed up. Yeah, take out about 10, take out about a million. 10 million, I mean. It's $24,887,605.96. So they're asking for about 24 million bucks.
Closer to 25 million.
Yeah, about 25 million.
As a deposit, you will transfer 10% of that 300 million yen before the year is out. 9 billion. I don't have that kind of money. After father passes away, you should be able to work it out. We managed to investigate it at least that far. You should be able to handle the deposit of 900 million yen in your current financial situation. And it should even be possible for you to borrow it from father, right? There's no need for obvious charades anymore.
I need Kenzo to still be alive in this world, in this universe, in this timeline. I just need that.
Yeah.
Because I need to see these three siblings get absolutely hit in the face with the fact that their bluff failed. That their gambit...
Just them?
Well, I mean, Kraus and Natsuki are kind of just chilling, and they're being fucking extorted. Accused
Damn,
of...
give Kitty some credit too. What the hell?
You know what? When I say the siblings, I mean the siblings and their spouses. Like, I need Kenzo to be alive in this timeline, just because I need the three of them, and, the five of them, to be like, oh, that was all for nothing.
Yeah. And how unpleasant. Truly unpleasant.
Is that... Even just the discussion of father's inheritance was far too disrespectful. Father is already dead. My husband is hiding that and keeping all the money for himself. I've had enough of this. None of you are qualified to bear the name Usuramiya any longer. You're so right, Queen. Calm down, Natsuki-san. No! She's fully right. We said all we need to. Why don't we leave it at that for now? This is happening all of a sudden and on a massive scale. We're not even beginning agitated ourselves. Why don't we take a break for a while and cool our heads? Krasny-san probably needs a little time himself. Right, Krasny-san?
Time. And why would I need something like that?
Don't worry. We aren't thinking of anything shady. We're just so eager to see father that we've started grumbling a bit. And Krasny-san, I know real well how you're trying to get back at us for the things we said. If you're willing to go so far, then you just need to let us meet with him. Right? Isn't that right? You got a bit stubborn. I felt awkward to say you let us see him after you saying we couldn't all those times. Isn't that it? Right? Fuck you, Hideyoshi. It's certainly impressing that my husband has lost his composure slightly, just like the rest of you have. We were only refusing stubbornly out of respect for father's desire not to meet with everyone.
Indeed, that's right. It was turning into another sibling fight like the old days, and I started feeling stubborn as well. Let us cool our heads. I understand how much you all want to meet with father. I will pass that on to him. I'll find some way to convince father to meet with you. Will that do?
Yeah. I think it'd be okay to give Krasny-san some time to persuade father. Yep. We're counting on you, Aniki. Please persuade him to meet with us. After all, you're Dad's caretaker.
As for persuading him, let's set a limit on it to sometime tonight, okay? When tomorrow comes, we'll confirm father's well-being. Even if we have to break down the door to his study.
Okay, and then you'll get your ass beat.
You have no problems with that, I take it. Nissan? Do as you like. I see. It seems even the time I've been given to persuade him is short. Let us go, Natsuki. We shall ask him to join us for dinner at least.
Oh my fucking god. Kraus left the parlor with Natsuki. Once their steps disappeared, Hideyoshi took a deep breath, smirking and flopping onto the sofa. Kide-san, you're a threatened person.
Sorry for speaking out of turn. I apologize.
No, you didn't corner him like we were originally planned, but in the end, this was even better. Because like always, I've got to bow my head to you.
What did they have originally planned?
I don't know! Because it had to be better than that! Like, even if Kinzo is dead in this world, that's still a fucking insane gamble to make! Like, you know what? You know
But
what?
they made it for a reason.
Kirie is like Kirie belongs in the Ushiromiya family with that level of fucking willingness to gamble. Are you kidding me? That was fucking insane! But can he really repair 900 million? I believe we estimated that 750 million would be the most cost Nissan could afford with his current financial situation. Isn't 900 million gouging him too much?
If you can't do it, that's fine too. If we do something like lowering it to 750 million so Kraus Nissan can save face. Look like we're compromising it, and it'll be easier to settle, right? If he really does come out with 900 million, that's even better. Nissan is probably having a strategy meeting with Natsuki-san about now. It really will be interesting to see what kind of twisted logic our proud Nissan comes up with as an excuse. Convince father? There's no way he can.
There's no way to convince someone who isn't even there. I need Kenzo to be alive. I need it. I need Kenzo to be alive.
If I can say anything, if I have anything to say, do you want to hear it?
Is that a spoiler?
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay, sure.
It's the question arc. You're
It
not
is.
going to get any answers
It
in
is the
a
question arc.
straightforward way.
That is true. We're not gonna get any answers. This is specifically the question arc.
Not in a straightforward way. The siblings have all come, despite their various circumstances, for the annual family conference.
Grass and Natsuki could be seen in Kinzo's dimly lit study. Every once in a while, thunder could be heard, and the dimly lit room flickered with light. It seemed that the island would be closed off by the storm very soon. Father, please, just this once, show those disrespectful people the majesty of the head. Good!
It's useless.
God, Kinzo, think how fucking great it would be. The large shadow of a person standing by the window, his majestic back facing them, answered quietly and forcefully. He hung his head and shook. Eventually, they could hear a mumbling laugh over his shoulder.
It's useless. It's all useless.
You know this runs in the family. Kinzo Battler? Oh fuck! Plot twist. 3 months left to live. An almost finished geezer. Whom exactly are you referring?
Fools.
Who's got a trophy? Goldsmith. You fools!
Did you wander over here because your siblings threatened you? Know your shame.
Kenzo turned and brushed his cape and flashed forcefully through the room's stale air. The air pressure truly signified Ushinoya Kenzo's majesty and willpower itself. I'm so glad he's alive. After being blown back by that wind, it wasn't strange that Kraus landed on his butt. As though showing consideration for Kraus, who looked as though his legs had been swept out from under him, Natsui also crouched down. Then, with a thunk, Kenzo's footsteps approached with that heft that signified his dignity.
Father. You fool.
Kenzo's having one of his episodes again.
I heard from Kanon. Just how far did you pathetically let your siblings lead you around by the nose?
I love the idea of Canon coming into Kenzo's study just to gossip. Father, my husband is doing his best to protect your honor. Lending an ear to Natsui's words, Kenzo extended his palms across his collar, as the latter sat on the floor. No, he curled his fingers, leaving only his pointer finger out, then took that finger and pressed it up against Kraus's collar, twisted it, and slowly, with just one finger, picked up Kraus into the air. What the fuck?!
You really are a pathetic fool.
What is this, Beatrice? What the...
You let your wife speak in your defense.
I forgot Kenzo's misogynistic.
If you have an excuse, give it yourself.
Kraus clawed at the air. Kenzo's brawny finger was choking him. Damn! He couldn't even open his mouth, much less talk. However, even if he had been able to open his mouth, as it was now, there was no way he'd be able to think up an excuse that Kenzo would accept. Still, how could this power be described? No one would call Kenzo an old man after seeing this superhuman strength. Father, how the fuck are you doing this? My husband is fighting in his own way. Please forgive him.
Natsuhi, fighting is a process you go through before winning. The process you go through before losing isn't called fighting. That's called being pathetic. You call this my successor.
What the fuck is going on with it?
What's his problem?
As thunder roared, Kenzo laughed heartily, as though nothing could be more pleasant. Homie's going through a manic episode.
Yeah, actually, a lot of things happened with Kenzo in this episode. It's... Yeah.
I can't wait. And when he finished laughing, he threw his son away like he was scrap paper, slamming him against the wall. Oh, fuck! Are you okay? Crouch slid down the wall, rubbing his throat as though in pain. Natsui ran up to him and looked after him. Without showing any interest in the two of them, Kenzo returned to the space near the window, as though he had been there the whole time, and looked out at the thunderclouds of misfortune.
I thought I would have no regrets in my life if only I could meet Beatrice, but it seems I won't go so smoothly. It was promised from the beginning that nothing received from the wish would remain. However, the Yoshiromiya name is not the property of the witch. Who is fit to succeed that name? It seems that this alone must be resolved by my own hand.
He turns to the left and there's a roulette wheel. It's just like all the names. It's just like, alright, who's it gonna be?
Rejoice, Kraus. I have changed my mind.
Natsuhi shall be the successor.
Father,
So...
I have no desire to have dinner with you cowards. However, I will attend the family conference afterwards.
Father, thank you very much.
There I shall make a great announcement regarding the succession of the head. I will resolve your foolish quarrel myself.
He goes to the family conference and is like, Maria is the successor and she's not allowed to have any counsel. She must make all the decisions herself. Alright. And that's where we're gonna end it. I'm so fucking stoked that Kinzo is alive. I've never been more excited that Kinzo's alive. Because that was an insane play coming from them. That's just such a fucking wild gamble. Come on. Alright.
Or
Oh, you're talking to your cat.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're on episode 4. What about it?
Oh, I didn't realize you were still recording.
No, I
forgot.
I haven't said goodbye yet.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I realized that.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Umineko. I hope you'll be joining us next time to watch the fucking the 5 of all the siblings really just get their shit rocked. Bye for now.